The ruins are at the heart of the island. We'll take a known safe route.
It's a long way, Sensei. Are you sure you're feeling up to it?
Not really. But I could possibly miss this.
Well, please don't overdo it, will you?
Well, well. Again we meet. It seems you have a knack for cheating death. As a hunter, I see you have grown. The fire in your eyes burns stronger now. Fitting that our paths cross here, in the sacred land of the ancient hunters. Traces of their aspirations remain, both within you and without. Once it was so that hunters were born here, raised here, and would die on this soil. But in time, they expanded their horizons, crossing the sea to Azuma. But that migration was only possible with the power of Karakuri. With the knowledge and technology possessed only by those hunters of old. Sadly, all that was no longer is. The haven the hunters built for themselves in Azuma was washed away by the rain of 1,000 days. A great flood that covered all the land. What few hunters survived dispersed northward or westward, taking with them what little knowledge remained of Karakuri. All that was left behind crystallized to become the seed. So you see, all that was left behind now exists within you. You need only hunt, and trust that in so doing, the seed will soon grow.
Over there, look! Oi!
Sorry to keep you. Your successful defeat of the kimono means we can proceed with the... Oh, what's wrong? Really? I haven't seen anyone. This place is far too dangerous for most. Anyway, never mind. Let's get on with the plan. You remember we discussed how you're enabled to conjure and command Karakuri anywhere you like? Well, the reason for that is intimately tied to a form of energy known as celestial thread. Think about when you create Karakuri out of nothing. Tendril-like phenomena appear, don't they? That is celestial thread. It's the motive force behind all Karakuri. If there isn't enough of it, Karakuri can't operate. The larger and more complex the Karakuri, the more celestial thread is required to power it. You've probably noticed already as you've been walking around that these ruins appear to be some kind of giant Karakuri. We can only imagine that at one time it was functioning as intended until, for some reason, the celestial thread here dried up and it ground to a halt.
For some reason. Due to stagnation of ki in the ground, perhaps?
Precisely. Ki and celestial thread are essentially the same thing. The ki here is not flowing. Fix that, and these ruins should come alive. Legend tells that this place is actually an elaborate machine used to divert celestial thread to another location. And I'm sure by now you can deduce what location that is. Yes! Minato! Which means that if we're successful here, all the karakuri that have been gathering dust in Minato until now should suddenly spring to life!
I was starting to think I'd never see them working again. It's been so long.
What we're trying to achieve here is crucial to the survival of the town. The influence of the kimono is growing all the time, and we have no way to defend ourselves. Sooner or later, we'll be forced to abandon Minato. So after many long discussions among the elders, they decided we should work towards restoring the town's karakuri to give us the means to fight back. Which is why your task here is to use your skills to wake up this ancient place.
All Minato's karakuri working again. I just can't imagine it.
It's exciting, isn't it? I have memories from my early childhood when they were still working.
The wall is opening up.
I'm learning.
Amazing!
And look at the celestial thread weaving its way. Oh, this I have to study.
So, we did it!
Yes, we did! A great success! You played your part perfectly. Thank you so much. Now, let us hurry back to Minato and see the transformation.
Yes. I can't wait to see what's happening around town. Let's go! Amazing, amazing, amazing! I never dreamed this could happen! Everything is working again! It's like life has been restored to the whole town. Every karakuri is working again. Oh, then the karakuri at the forge will be... This I have to see!
Well, Natsuma's happy. To be honest, there are dozens of things I'd like to experiment with, too. And if you wouldn't mind, I'll be needing your help with many of them. Wow. Isn't this something? I expect you're dying to look around town. I know I am. Just think of the dust flying off all those old karakuri as they spring back to life. The bathhouse near the town gates, for example. The hot waters will be flowing again. Ah, they don't need an attendant now. It couldn't have gone better. And it's all thanks to you.
Whoa! Talk about a surprise! Yo! Whoa! You want to know what's still to do? Here's the list. All right. I think you want to know what's still to do? Here's the list. All right then.
Ah, so you're back at last. Care to explain what's going on?
Oh, you're a hunter then. I'm Ryozaemon. just a merchant. I had some business arranged here in Minato. But my man hasn't shown up. He's a hunter too, you know? A good one. I've bought things from him before, and he's always been very reliable. He promised me some deer antler this time. I hope nothing's happened to him. It's a worry. For his safety and my business. You couldn't go and look for him, could you? And maybe hunt a deer on the way?
Oh, Minato's karakuri. I've never seen them working before.
Every single karakuri in Minato is working again. Mind if I... Hard at work as usual? You're no stranger to the Spirit Isle, are you? Takes me back, thinking about that place. I hunted Kemono there not long after I first came to Minato. This body of mine was less creaky back then. I was escorting a gathering party, if I remember rightly. All of a sudden, there was a scream from the bay. A giant bird had tried to take a child, and the father was beside himself. But luckily for him, the gallant Daidoji Ujishige wasn't far away. I pulled the child from the Kemono's clutches and dispatched the beast in one fell swoop. Well, I've always been skilled, especially at talking myself up. But if you need proof, go and see for yourself. There's bound to be more of them, ready to make off with another victim given half a chance. Oh, but if you are heading over there, don't take it lightly. That Kemono was almost more than I could handle. Almost. I couldn't say if you'll be able to defeat it or not. But if you emerge victorious, I'll have to give you credit where credit's due. And if you don't, well, we'll laugh about it over a cup of sake. I'm looking forward to it either way.
Hello. Kogyok-san has been very good to me since I ended up here in Minato. I'll always be in her debt.
Why are all the karakuri suddenly moving?
Ah, I've been meaning to talk to you.
Did you make all the karakuri work again? I don't understand. Don't worry, I take pride in my work.
I just can't stop watching. It's so fascinating. This karakuri can maintain a higher temperature in the hearth. That would mean I could forge various materials I couldn't forge before. So I'll be much more used to you now. To everyone in Minato, in fact. The times I've tried and failed to get all the things in this forge working again. Most of this equipment has been gathering dust, but now it's had a new lease on life. Minato could thrive again, like in the old days. And it's all come about thanks to you. I honestly don't know how to express my gratitude. Nothing I could say would be enough. Just... arigato. Thank you so, so much. Now that the karakuri are all working again, I'm eager to gather the materials I need to make these little ones of mine really shine. And it's got me thinking. There's this old hunter's camp up on the highlands to the north of the Blossom Tree. I've passed it a few times when I've been out looking for materials, but since no one's been using it, it's fallen into disrepair. If we could whip it into shape, I'm sure it would be a useful base to head out hunting from. Which would be good for both of us. What do you say? Do you want to fix up the old camp together? I've developed... I'm ready to leave when... Look at all these materials you've gathered for me. That's perfect. And with all the karakuri whirring again, I shouldn't have any trouble now. There are fewer and fewer members of the Guild of Artisans now. It's a headache for the whole town. But it means the rest of us just have to work harder to pick up the slack. Minato's future depends on it. Anyway, you've been a big help. Arigatou gozaimashita. I'm sure I'll have another job for you soon enough, if you don't mind. Just tell me what you need and I'll give it all my attention. Which one are we talking about? Have a think about which of my little ones you're most interested in. Alright, let's get this new camp set up. We should aim for the highlands to the north, just beyond the Sakura Cave. That's strange. It should be around here. What we need is a karakuri to help us find a camp. Here we are then. Let's get to work. Let me know when you're finished over there. The camp's coming together nicely, I think. Time for a break, maybe? We can have a chat while we catch our breath. You came to Minato from the west, didn't you? Along the mountain path. That means you must have walked right around the foot of the secret mountain. That's what we call it. But people from Minato don't venture that way anymore. It was a sacred place for the hunters of old. Much like the Spirit Isle, I think. But I've never heard of any settlements or trucks that way. I suppose the weather's too inhospitable. Sometimes you see clouds of kocho fluttering around the mountainsides, though. It is pretty, but creepy in a way, too. They're called eternity ringlets, that particular type of kocho. I suppose because they gather by the injured and the dead. In the old days, some people even thought that humans in kemono turned into kocho when they died. Anyway, ready to get back to work? Let's get this camp finished off. Let's leave it there for today, shall we? Another one? They're getting very frequent lately.
Really? Interesting.
It was like a moving mountain. Honestly, I've never seen such a huge and terrifying kemono.
It reminds me of something I've read in the records from centuries ago. A giant kemono ripped across the land. The castle, the town, the people, all were swallowed in rock. If this is the same creature, it would explain the frequent tremors we've been experiencing recently. Even the strange behavior we observed in the other kemono could be traced back to this giant.
All my life I've lived in Minato, and I had no idea such a kemono lived so close.
Well, kemono only stray outside of their territory in exceptional circumstances, and they rarely show themselves to us. Remember, all kemono, no matter how big or small, are sustained by the same energy, celestial thread. And since celestial thread is ubiquitous, they have no need to wander in search of it.
But then, why has this kimono... Could it be because there's no thread left in its territory, perhaps?
Yes, that's my hypothesis too. I believe our giant is hungry, due to some great change in the flow of thread in its environment. Now, we recently flooded our town with celestial thread by restoring the karakuri on the Spirit Isle. So, unfortunately, we've made Minato look rather appetizing.
But that's terrible. That means this kimono is going to expand its territory this way and swallow us up.
I wish I could fault your logic, and I'm afraid we can't reverse what we've done. I had a nagging feeling that something might go wrong, but not this wrong. If only I had investigated the possible outcomes more thoroughly.
No one's to blame. None of us could have anticipated this. We didn't know anything. Wait. Didn't you say you'd encountered this bear once before? Heading from the sacred mountain towards Minato?
Oh. So that means it comes from a habitat to the north. And you're saying it was on the move even before our work at the ruins? But no, we don't have time to be pondering the cause. We must decide how to act, and quickly. Are you serious? I realize your hunting skills are exceptional, but no single person could dispatch a beast of that size! Even if everyone in town pulled together, the best we could hope to do is give it a nasty surprise to begin with before... No, come on, Suzuna. You owe it to Minato to fix this. Think now. Going along the Harugasumi Way, its enormous bulk will mean it has to descend into the river. If we can position Karakuri along the bluff, we might be able to defeat it before it hits the town. I think that's the only workable strategy at this point. I'll talk to the elders about preparing the necessary Karakuri. What I need you to do is buy us some time. Without a chance to prepare, I'm afraid we're doomed.
I wonder if I could... Sorry, I need to go and test something. Meet me later at the forge.
It's going to take all we've got to overcome this threat. The town needs your help now more than ever. Believe me, I'm doing everything I can think of.
Oi. You're not allowed to look cool. I'll organize the... You want to know what's still to do? Here's the list. In the wise words of my father, we'll follow your lead.
Good. You're here.
If we can't live in Minato anymore, where do we go?
Sorry to run off in the middle of a conversation like that, but I had an idea that couldn't wait. I'll come straight to the point. I need some kimono materials, and I need them fast. I started playing around with some new innovations after all the karakuri came back to life, you see. And I think I might have come up with a weapon we can use to fight that giant kimono. It's clearly a rock kimono of some kind, isn't it? Did you notice how its body was covered in deep crevices? And how kocho were fluttering around those parts? In the same sort of way that they swarm over the corpses of kimono, or their wounds. Well, if those crevices are wounds too, they could be weak points. And with my new weapon, we could target them from the ground. Which is why I really need those materials. I'm basically after a large quantity of iron sand. More than we have time to dig out of the ground, though. But I've remembered that Nobu mentioned a rumor about a kimono that scatters iron sand. I am sorry to be asking yet another favor, but do you think you could help?
Hey, Hunter. How do you... We've got a problem with the irrigation canals. Water's no good lately. We won't be able to grow a thing unless we sort it out. Turns out it's because of a sap scourge laying claim to some land upstream. It'll end up killing everything. All the fish and all our crops. I don't feel good about it. But could you go and hunt it? Or it'll be the end of us.
Oh, that's a stroke of luck. I have a job for you, Hunter. I don't know if you know, but I make an ointment that's used by everyone in town. Thing is, when I went to gather the plants I need for it earlier today, every single one I found was withered and dead. It's likely because the kimono has settled in the place where I normally harvest what I need. I'm worried I won't be able to make any more ointment. And I'm worried that will worry everyone else. It's excellent for cuts and gashes, you see. People set quite some store by it. Without it, some wounds get, very nasty. I was hoping you might hunt the kimono so the plants start growing again. You'd be doing the whole town a huge favor.
heard the news. I've seen how seriously you and the sensei are taking it. And I'll pitch in any way I can. Although, to be honest, all I can really do to help is get you manpower. But if you think of anything else, just shout. I'll do my best for you. I'll organize the fishermen. You want to know what's still to do? In the wise word, we'll follow your lead.
Whatever it takes, we have to stop that earthbreaker. We can do it if we all work together. You've got them already? This is exactly what I need. Arigato. I should be able to put the weapon together now. It won't take long. This is a matter of personal pride. I'm going to make the greatest weapon you've ever seen in the shortest time imaginable. Blacksmith's honor. I really don't know how effective my weapons will be against that huge creature.